Hey y'all, I'm so excited to have you in my class this year. We're going to have a ton of fun, and I'm glad that you're along for the ride. We don't have much time today, so we're going to go over some of the basic stuff you'll need to know in order to be successful in this class. This class is flipped, and I'm so excited that you're going to be part of this. This class is like no other social studies class you've ever taken. This is a new concept for our school. In fact, as of right now, I am the only teacher in the building who has completely flipped a class. But trust me, I have done my research on it, and even though it's a ton of work for me, research shows that it's you, my students, who benefit from a flipped classroom. Don't worry, this is totally not a you teach yourself kind of class, nor is it an online class. I still teach you, but you will be watching videos outside of class pretty much every night and taking Cornell notes, or C notes as I like to call them, as you watch the videos. When you come to class, we get to do so many more hands-on activities. You'll have plenty of time to ask me questions in a smaller setting, in case you have questions but don't want to ask them in front of the whole class. Yeah, I totally get that. I was that kid in school too. And you'll have lots of stuff to do in your interactive notebook. So let's chat about this whole C notes deal. Yes, you will be taking lots of notes in World History 2 and Sociology this year, but I have great news for you. You'll be taking Cornell notes, and C notes are a great tool to help you study and remember this stuff better. So if you had to guess a percentage, what percent of information would you guess you'll remember on test day if you take C notes? 50%, 60%, maybe 70%? Those sound like decent percentages, right? But if you translate those into test grades, those are not the greatest test grades, right? But did you know that if you take your C notes and review them a couple times, you'll remember 90 to 100% of the information on test day? That seems insane, right? Those are awesome test grades, and who doesn't want an awesome grade? But there's a system to it, and I'm going to teach you how to do it. So Cornell notes actually came about because of two pretty interesting guys. Hermann Ebbinghaus was a researcher back in 1886, and he studied forgetting. No, really, seriously, he studied forgetting. He studied people and how they forget stuff and why they forget stuff, that sort of thing. He found that on day one of learning something new, folks remembered 100% of the information. Well, that makes sense, right? You just learned it. He also found that if people did not go back and review or study the new information, they lost it. No, seriously, they completely lost it. They couldn't remember 50 to 80% of the information they had just learned the day before. So here's how you do it. There's 3 simple steps. First, you're going to watch the video or videos for the day. As you watch the videos, you're going to take notes. Don't stress, I give you guys a unit packet of notes. It will have graphic organizers, charts, visual clues, and other stuff to help you. The great thing about having videos to watch is that you can pause it, you can rewind it and listen to it again and again and again if you need to. And here's my biggest word of advice about taking notes. Don't write down every single word. Abbreviate, use symbols, whatever helps you take your notes. The second thing you'll do is write questions. I have no doubt in my mind that as you watch these videos, questions are going to pop in your head. No matter how big or how small you think they are, write them down in that questions column of your notes. Then, as you're reviewing your notes, you can go back and write down what you think could be potential test questions in this column as well. And finally, you'll write a summary. But don't worry, I'll give you time in class to write your summaries, so don't stress about that too much. All right, so these notes are called Cornell notes, right? But they're not named after the guy who came up with them. Nope. That guy's name is Walter Pock. And in 1949, he was professor at Cornell University. Okay, do we get it now? Yeah, so Professor Pock noticed that his students were not retaining the information like they should. He found that students who took little to no notes retained less than 59% of the information. So if that were a test grade, what would it be? Right, it would be an F, and they would fail. Students who took some notes retained about 59% of the information as well. Again, what kind of test grade would that be? A failing grade. But students who took great notes, reviewed their notes, wrote questions in the margins, and then summarized them, retained, anybody want to make a guess? I hope you said 90 to 100% of the information. That's totally an A on the test, and let's face it, you've got to remember this stuff until at least late May, early June, right? Okay, so let's practice taking some C notes. We're going to go over my class expectations by watching a video. You watch the video and take notes. But remember, as you do this at home, you'll be able to pause and rewind and get your stuff written down. Ready? Here we go.